We deliver the goods on time. Smooth sailing. We tick every box. We fact check. The goods are never late. The question is whether you're ready. Are you ready for the goods? Because I have a sizable package ready for you. Will you be there at the appropriate time? Because we're like Amazon Prime. Now, we are a local outfit, but we deliver the goods on time. In our district, that we don't have unusual pretensions, I can assure you. There are 4 houses that we deliver to, but the package will always be there on time. Now, we're small. We're getting our game legs now. We're creating a splash in the local economy. And it's just me and my dog, Fritz. You may think that I'm preposterous, but I have a vision. I'm a man of vision. 4 houses. I keep these houses happy. Fritz and I. Fritz will go up, drop the package up on the doorstep. There can be a little milk bone for Fritz. Fritz is rewarded. Fritz experiences immediate gratification for taking care of that household. That household knows Fritz on a first-name basis. Now, being the ever-resourceful entrepreneur, I have my way of doing things that minimizes front-end labor on my part. Okay? I don't want to be there getting my fingers dirty. So what I've got with Fritz is a collar. And the collar has basically a few different insertion points, spikes if you would. It's controlled by remote. So if I want Fritz to go forward, I've got that little remote control that has the dial on it, so to speak. I don't know what they're called. And it inserts the spike into Fritz's neck, and Fritz goes forward. And if I want him to stop, then I press a button, and another spike goes into his neck, and boom, he stops. If I want him to go left or right, again, it's with the joystick. And this is how I get Fritz to actually deliver the packages to these 4 houses, because we are local. We're a family-owned business. Me and Fritz. I own Fritz. I own the business. Now, you may think that it's kind of odd that I only work with 4 houses. It is odd. And you may also think, well, how in the world do you ship things? I mean, where do you get it from? You're not like Amazon, where there's a warehouse. And that's true. Let me put it this way. I have a certain tech savvy. So, I know what you want. Well, I know what these 4 houses want, and I'm thinking of expanding to 5. And, well, really, I want to double it. So when I really master 4 houses and Fritz has really got it down, because sometimes Fritz will go left when I spike him to go right. He'll go when I spike him to stop. Fritz is still learning, and okay, first of all, before you get that into your head with the Animal Protection Agency and all that stuff, Fritz and I are like this. We're close. When I go to sleep at night, Fritz is in the bed with me, cuddling up on my backside. I don't have the collar on then. I don't put a collar on him when we're in the house and we're playing. It's only when I want him to do certain things. But listen, don't even go down that road, because Fritz has to earn his keep. Right? What does a dog do otherwise? Just, it's a freeloader? Freeloading canine? Does nothing for the free food and the free water and the roof over its head and the various toys? Nothing? Just gets to be a dog? How does that help the dog? How does that develop the character of the dog? If the dog is getting everything for free, there's no such thing as a free lunch, even for fucking Fritz. Okay? Fritz doesn't get a fucking free lunch, or a free breakfast, or a free dinner. And he doesn't get a free fucking roof over his head. So if he has to learn how to deliver these packages to my 4 clients through spikes in the neck, and it's not just spikes, that was the simplistic explanation. There's electric shock that goes through the spike. First of all, it's just a spike, 4 spikes so far, and I might need to get more spikes. But see, Fritz is only so smart. He's a smart dog. But he can't necessarily compute more than these 4 different signals: left, right, go, stop. There may be an additional spike that I put in there which says wag his tail, but then I've got to train him for that. That could be a spike too. You can put your tongue out and just slobber all over it, because that could be useful for one of my 4 clients who loves dogs. It's like, oh, Fritz. Fritz has one of those tags. It says Fritz. And my concern is that if I put too many spikes and electrical charges in his collar, he'll just go on the Fritz. You gotta take these things slow. As with any other entrepreneur, you have to make sure that your vision doesn't exceed your capacity by leaps and bounds. I mean, your vision needs to be beyond your current capacity so as to guide this capacity. So when I started off, I was like doing one house. And I would sit out there on the curb with my laptop, and I would just be doing my tech things. And I essentially would figure out what that house needed. And I'd go and I'd buy it. And then I would have Fritz deliver it. You know what I mean? And so this is a visionary enterprise, because how many people like to see a dog come and just drop something off on their front porch? This, of course, there's only a certain size, because Fritz is, he's pretty big. He's an above average sized dog. And so I can, put these saddlebags on Fritz, and he can carry various things. But right now, what we're trying to do is see if he can actually carry a flat screen TV on his back up some stairs. So I'm experimenting there. I have a flat screen TV, and I'm tying it to him and seeing if he could. There you go again. You think I'm actually abusing my dog. What's really happening is you're envious. This is called envy. I'm resourceful. We're living in a world that requires industry, inventiveness, ingenuity. So don't come at me if you think that I'm somehow injuring, abusing, mistreating my dog by putting a flat screen TV. First of all, I'm starting with a small flat screen TV. I just happen to know through my tech-savvy work that these 4 houses don't have good flat screen TVs, and they're kind of deteriorating. They're not, it's cutting edge. They're also starting to consider. You can see, if you do the right research, you can see who's actually on their own computer looking for upgrades in flat screen TV. So I want to know, can I put a 54-inch flat screen TV on Fritz's back? What will he do? Can he balance that? Because this family is going to absolutely love it. A 54-inch flat screen TV shows up on their front door on Fritz's back, and they're just like, ah! The thing is that I learned is that you need to anticipate people's needs, right? absolutely. You gotta anticipate people's needs. So if you start to hear rumblings of just discontent over their current flat screen TV, then pay attention. Get your ear to the grindstone. Because what I will do at that point with these 4 houses is I will find a really stellar deal online. I'll get a flat. So let's say that a flat screen TV is being sold at with resale prices, $1,000, just give or take. And I'm sure that Fritz can carry it on his back. I need to find that flat screen TV for $500 and sell it for $750 or $800. Okay, so what happens is that there's a tag and an invoice on top of the flat screen TV when it's on Fritz's back, and they sign it, and it's a digital thing, so they can swipe their credit card and it'll go straight to my account. So this is small beans. At this rate, I'll make $200-300 a day, and I'm out ahead of the pack on this, right? Because what I'm doing is I'm actually getting people excited. They somehow love it. They didn't even know that they would love it. And Fritz is one of those great dogs. You know what I mean? He's one of those kinds that you really cop to him. Well, that's not the right word. You really are attracted to him. You want to give him some loving attention, pet him. He'd love it when you wags his tail and he's got his floppy tongue. What I want to do is essentially get this automated. I start with 4 houses and with Fritz. Fritz, being a sociable animal, does a lot of the work. But Fritz can't carry his own in this world the way things are set up. He depends on me, he depends on this. So Fritz is smart enough to know that he's playing second fiddle. He's not the top dog. I'm the top dog. And what he has come to understand is that if he plays his cards right, he gets what he wants. He gets his boat, he gets his water, he gets his dog food, he gets his roof over his head, he gets his toys, and he gets, whatever dogs want. But if we're going to go to 8 houses and I'm not going to increase my workload, then I've got to find a way to train Fritz. I've got to get into Fritz's mind. The dog whisperer. So there's this guy, Cesar Milan. He's this Mexican dude who's just amazing with dogs. And that's the route I have to go. Because I want to get inside Fritz's mind, so that Fritz can go and train other dogs and we can expand our operation. So I will spend my free time, now that Fritz has kind of got a handle on things, getting into the doggy mind. That's the beginning. See, if you want to get into the doggy mind, you got to start from the outside, because as a human being, I don't have an inside view of the dog yet. So what I do is I watch Fritz. Fritz knows I'm watching him, so it's one of those weird experiments, because is he being natural if he knows that I'm watching him? You get that sense that there's eyes on target, eyes on Fritz. So anyways, I spend a good bit of time, and then I'll just go like this, and I'll wag my tail. I don't have a tail, but you need to do that just to be able to get into the tail wagging mindset. See what I mean? That's not bad, right? How am I going to get Fritz to get the other dogs of the neighborhood in on this, because Fritz has got a challenge. I'm not doing it. I can't get these other dogs in on the operation. Fritz can get the other dogs in on the operation. And my challenge is to help Fritz understand that it's something that you can't do with electric shocks through the spikes in the collar. Fritz isn't going to get it that way. I've got to find a way to communicate with Fritz and say, listen, Fritz, I can make you a millionaire here. We are at the cutting edge. No one can do what we can do. I'm playing my part, you playing your part, Fritz. It started with me. Brilliant idea, visionary, laptop on a curb, hacking into people's internet, seeing what they wanted, going out there, getting it for them, delivered on your back like a pack mule. So, fast forward about 5 years. I started to see the world through a dog's eyes. And I got into this really weird place. No human being has gone where I have gone. Forget about it. Leonardo da Vinci, Isaac Newton, Nikola Tesla, Galileo Galilei. None of those people have done what I have done, and I did it because the market demanded it. Supply and demand. Getting in a dog's mind. Getting in a dog's soul. Getting in a dog's body. We don't even have an understanding of how versatile we are as human beings, how we can do things we didn't even imagine we could do until we got the gumption to do it. So, I've created a consciousness in myself, right? That's half dog, half human, but that's 50-50 isn't the right way to say it, but I can't really say it any other way. But it's like both. And I started it by going really slow with the panting. Where's the cat? Squirrel. Squirrel. I want to pee on a tree. Where's the cat? I'm thirsty. Where's my master? Master might keep today. Delivering packages. Recruiting other dogs to the enterprise. 3 dogs. 4 dogs. Total. 16 houses. When's Master gonna put me on the internet? And so you see how it is. What I did. I took over Fritz's mind. Okay, don't call the Animal Protection Services, okay? Don't. What I realize is that Fritz is a happy dog. Fritz is not a dog that's high maintenance. He's not demanding. He's not a spoiled sport, so he doesn't mind if I work him to the bone. He's happy. He's a happy dog. And I told him, well, I essentially maneuvered him into recruiting other happy dogs. We have 16 houses now. And before you go off on child labor this, child labor that, you don't get it. You're one of those sissy pants, nincompoop, ne'er-do-wells, butthurt animal rights people. Don't be butthurt. When a human being and a canine can interface in the way that me and Fritz and these other dogs are starting to interface, I've just helped them evolve. I've brought them into the workforce. I helped them evolve. Because before I brought them into the workforce and had them putting flat screen TVs on their own backs, because actually the other 3 dogs can now help put a flat screen TV on Fritz's back or on one of their own backs, they're starting to grow. Did you ever wonder how it happened? It happened through business. There was a demand, there was a pressure to evolve because people were like, hey, we can get more money if we evolve. The money is the pressure because the money is what buys things. And now Fritz is like, I want an apartment of my own. I want a car of my own. I want to learn how to drive. I want a vacation home in Florida. And I want to start walking upright and using my paws to type on a computer. I want to branch out and be the king of the dogs on planet Earth. And I'm like, okay, hold on a second. King is largely a ceremonial role. Fritz, if you were to say president of the dogs or prime minister of the dogs, that's better. But king, that's not. Okay. I want it all. And that's how it works. You know, I helped him see that. Now, obviously, you're going to get a little nervous by hearing a dog say, I want it all. It's like contemporary arguments that AI, once self-aware, is going to exponentially evolve and take over the planet and the solar system and the galaxy. And, of course, what you don't know is that there are safeguards against that. There's untold thousands of extraterrestrials outside of the planetary atmosphere here, and they're all watching us to make sure that we don't go crazy and become a threat to them and to the rest of the galaxy. They're just hovering there like, okay, these fucking humans better not fuck it up or we're gonna go in there and intervene. So I have not got any negative feedback from these extraterrestrials with my work with Fritz. Okay? I'm evolving him through my own entrepreneurial spirit. I want to get to the point where I have all dogs on the planet sufficiently evolved to not only deliver packages, which is like, kids play. I want to evolve these animals so that they're out there killing it. Not killing it, that's a bad choice of words, but they are conducting business, mergers and acquisitions, supply and demand with their great, companies, corporations, all of it, so that I can kick back and say, I did this, and I can enjoy the ride. Because it is quite a ride to, at that point, through the internet, through advancements in artificial intelligence, I will be able to get into the minds of all of those dogs. Yeah, I proposed this years ago to some of the leading technocrats, and they thought I was batshit crazy. And now they would think I totally lost my gourd because I'm able to get inside the mind of a dog. Able to get inside the mind of a dog and deliver flat screen TVs and command my buddies. One bark for each. Each dog knows its own name because it's a certain bark. There's that's Fred. It's not his real name, but that's what that is. That's Susan. And then and that's Stevie, and Ralph is Ralph. That's how we tell each other apart. And then they have the people that they're responsible for. There's a hierarchy of canines delivering packages all around the world and trading in cryptocurrency. Bitcoin. Can you imagine what happens when the dogs of the world really get into Bitcoin? So now, 7 or 8 years later, from the original conception of me on a curb with my laptop, hacking into my neighbors, now the technocrats come a-knocking. They want to know how I did it. And now they're full of brilliant ideas, and of course, I'm way ahead of them. Because even though they finally come around and starting to see my genius, I've had a head start. I knew where this was going. I knew. Absolutely I knew. Because if it can work with dogs, it can work with fish. It can work with birds. What you have to do is you have to form that initial connection with one representative of the species. Now, it's harder with certain animals than others. But I don't know where this ends. You know, I could work with trees. And you're like, trees delivering flat screens? No, bozo, I didn't say that. I know what you could do with trees. See? Already I've got a dog thinking for me because I've learned how to interface with the mind and the soul and the body of a dog. That dog is already starting to think that the dog's cognition is sufficiently upgraded by human cognition, now thinking about how to get a tree in on the business. What can a tree do once I'm inside of the tree's soul? We're going there. What I propose is a prototypical nanotechnological organic fiber transaction of all the pollution in the atmosphere so that it's taken out of the atmosphere and converted into energy that is then put down into the earth, back into the earth. So I haven't got the kinks all figured out there, but that's where I'm working with the mosquitoes. Because, as you may have heard, there is already work with mosquitoes that have been converted into nanosquitoes. That's right, nanosquitoes have been gradually created by the technocrats for nefarious purposes, obviously, and these nanomosquitoes are able to do things, spy, espionage for nanomosquitoes, right? Maybe land on someone and put something in their body that shouldn't be in their body, and then fuck with that person's genome. So what I've done is I've started to work with mosquitoes now. Mosquitoes are a little bit harder. They're a step up from trees, but they are harder because you're just like, mosquitoes don't stay still for long, so you have to actually tape it down, and then you have to work on it. You have to get in this mosquito's soul. It's hard, and I'm working with Fritz. Now Fritz has been evolving for eight years now. So Fritz is okay. I should not say this very loud, but I'm going to tell you anyways. I'm more intelligent than most humans. And I'm like, Fritz, you could probably put your tongue in now that you're more intelligent than most humans. No. You want me to stop wagging my tail too? I like being a dog. Okay, Fritz. Yes. Are you always happy? I am. Were you happy when I was putting this flat screen TVs on your back? Absolutely. See? So Fritz, yeah, could you go ahead and tell those animal rights people that you were happy the whole time? Fuck them! See, he's great. I love Fritz. He gets it. He gets it. Those fucking animal rights protection agency people, they don't get it. They don't get it at all. They don't have any understanding. What they are is they are angry people. Everywhere they go, something or someone is being oppressed just for existing. So when I pack Fritz up 8 years ago, those people are just like lining up around the block to condemn me, to judge me, to drag me through the mud. And I said, fuck you, hell no. Me and Fritz, we've got our business to run. And now look at Fritz. 8 years later, he's got his whole army of dogs delivering packages across the planet, surpassing Amazon. The technocrats are coming to my door. Hello. And they want to know how I did it. They don't know. They don't know shit. They don't know how I started. I started with an idea. I started with a vision. And now, because I've done my prototype work with Fritz, and with his mind, I'm going to work with dolphins. I'm going to work with birds, fish, mosquitoes, trees. And of course, the summum bonum, the apex is working with this. Alright? I gotta work with this. Because if I don't figure this out, I'm gonna die at some point. Now, I'm not gonna depend upon med beds and anti-aging serum put into me through some kind of syringe. I don't trust that shit. I don't know where these people are coming up with their stuff, and I don't know why they want to put it in me. I can't trust people I don't know. I can't trust stuff I don't know. But as for myself, what I can do is I can get into this the way I got into Fritz, which is I start with the mind, and I go in, and I just look into the mirror and start acting like a dog. And I wag my tail. Boom, 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 boom. And I yip and I yap and I bark. That was more like a monkey. But you know what I'm trying to say. And I go around and I do this in the house. I don't do this so much outside except at night when nobody's looking. But I'll get on all fours. And I'll be like, cat, squirrel, bird, rabbit, trees, piss, drink water, eat dog food. That's what I'll do. And that's how I've made my billions now, 10 years later, because it's starting to multiply really fast. Now, when I learn about all this in here, and I learn how a liver works, I learn how a lung works, I learn how a heart works, I learn how a spleen works and a kidney works, and all of that. I learn how the brain works. I'll be able to figure out how to keep this stuff fresh and lively, and so that I won't decline, right? How can I work with all of this inside so I don't decline? And it gets, of course, really fascinating, because of all the vitality of all the organisms under my influence, that vitality is coming back into me through this Ethernet. Remember Ethernet? Well, this is really an Ethernet. This isn't like internet, but it's electromagnetism transacted back and forth through the ley lines of the ether. Right. I know. I didn't come up with this stuff. I just discovered it, you know? I just realized now that I was interfacing with all these dogs, this was back in the day, that I felt more energized. Well, of course I felt more energized because I was telepathically connected, kinetically engaged with their energy, which was flashed back into my own organism. Yeah, pretty amazing. So now all that vitality that's coming into me from millions of members of the animal kingdom, and soon to be the plant kingdom, is revitalizing me. Now I've got to find a way to channel that appropriately so that I never die. And now you'll see what's actually going on with me. That I had that vision so long ago, sitting on a curb with my laptop, on how to become immortal and how to positively influence every living organism on this planet, and how, ultimately, to positively influence every living organism in the galaxy and the universe, because it never stops expanding, exponentially multiplying, and then it's just every single entity I illuminate with sentience until all of reality goes up in light.